Hey you guys, so today's tutorial is on these savory and flavorful Jamaican style oxtails. As always, all ingredients will be in the description bar below. Let's get started. So I'm starting on freshly washed oxtails. I know what they say about washing your meat, but we wash our meat in the Caribbean, so I'm finna wash mine over here, period. We wash it with lemon juice, vinegar, salt, and water. I let it sit for like half hour and then I drain it. So yeah, now I'm chopping up a whole Scotch bonnet pepper. If you don't know where to get them, or if you can't find Scotch bonnets, you can use habanero peppers. And then I'm chopping up a whole onion. Please, y'all, don't judge me on how I'm cutting everything. I know I'm not holding my knife properly or anything. You can seriously injure yourself if you don't hold your hands correctly when chopping your vegetables. But it was 12 a.m. and sis was tired. Okay? Extremely tired. And I was just trying to get this marinating for Mother's Day. So yeah. Now I'm just chopping these onions. It doesn't really matter how you chop them, because it's gonna cook out anyway, because these oxtails cook for about 2.5 hours. So yeah, now we're adding some fresh thyme to our bowl. Thyme is an important herb in Jamaican cooking. It's used for almost everything. It's my favorite herb. It has a great flavor and it's so aromatic. So yeah, now I'm adding my dried seasonings. I use onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, my Brass Cuisine beef seasoning, a game changer by the way. The link in the bio to purchase, because it's not available in stores unless you're in Texas and you shop at Pie Burns, I believe. So yeah, I add beef bouillon and the Brass Cuisine Brass Experience, which is similar, I want to say, to seasoning sauce. So if you use Lawry's, you can use the Brass Cuisine. The Brass Cuisine tastes better in my opinion. So yeah, I add that. Then I'm gonna add some crushed garlic paste. You can make your own garlic paste. I buy it because it's convenient. It's just that simple. And then I'm gonna add some crushed Scotch bonnet pepper sauce. I get this at the Jamaican store in Philly. They have the yellow one, orange, red, and green, but I like the yellow one because I like the color. And then I'm gonna add some oyster sauce. Please be careful when seasoning with oyster sauce. Like most Asian sauces, it's like salty, so don't do too much. And add a little bit of your browning, because if you add too much browning, it can become bitter when you cook it. And remember, when you're cooking, you can always add more, but you cannot take away once it's added. And you don't want this to be too salty, because as it cooks down, the flavor intensifies. So when you're cooking stuff and you're braising like most Jamaican foods are, and it's simmering and it's steeping and the flavors are melding and they're becoming richer and deeper, it also becomes saltier. So don't do too much. Season in stages. Unfortunately for this recipe, there are no exact measurements. It's an eyeball thing. You just have to look at it to see if it looks correct, and then always under season, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's better to under season when it's raw, because you can't taste it right now. You have no clue what it tastes like when it's just seasoned. So you want to under season, and then while it's cooking, you can add as you go. Yes, I am using a plastic bag because I could not find the gloves, and it was nighttime. I did not feel like looking for gloves. It doesn't really matter. It got the job done anyway. So now it's the next day, and we're gonna sear our meat. So yeah, I'm searing them in batches because my pot isn't big enough to hold all of the meat at the same time. But yeah, you want to sear your meat before you start the braising process, because searing that meat adds another layer of flavor. First, you build up that fond on the bottom of the pot. It looked like burnt bits, but it's not burnt. That's flavor. You need that. That helps to intensify whatever you're cooking, and it helps to create a beautiful flavor. And also, searing your meat keeps some juices on the inside when it's braising, so that you don't lose all that flavor. You want the meat itself to be flavorful as well. So we're searing, my bad. We're searing these oxtails in batches. I had about, 6.5 pounds of oxtails. So, yeah. So yeah, also when you're searing, you guys, don't overcrowd your pan, because if it's too much meat in the pot, it'll start to like steam instead of sear, and you don't want that, because you're not like steaming it. You just want to sear it to get some caramelization on your meat before you start to braise it. And these oxtails will braise for about 2 to 3 hours. Just check on your meat. That's all you can do. It's not a set time, because each cut of oxtail is different. It all depends on your meat market, where you got it from, your temperatures and everything. So now this is the last batch that's seared. I'm not taking anything out. I'm adding the rest of the seared oxtails into the pot. And on the side, in the bowl that we seasoned the meat in, we had our onions that was marinating with the meat overnight, and I added some water. I added a little bit more beef bouillon. I added a little bit of ketchup, and then we just add it into the pot with the meat. And this is gonna braise for about 2 hours, you guys. Just leave it, let it do its thing, let that meat get tender. You can't do nothing for it except for just cover it and check on it. And now after about 2 hours, I'm checking to see the tenderness of it. You're gonna see me like pick up some oxtail on a spoon, try it with my fork. You see how I used a plastic fork, and you see how that just pulled apart? So yeah, we're basically done. But now we're going to add in a little bit more seasoning for that flavor. As I told y'all, as you're cooking it, you're gonna have to add more seasoning, so always under season it in the beginning. And then I'm gonna add a can of butter beans. Butter beans are the same as lima beans, you guys. So I add a can of butter beans, and then I'm going to add some spinners. Spinners is what Jamaican people call our like small boiled dumplings. They look like little fingers, I guess. And I guess they're called that because of the way you roll them. But in a small bowl, you take like a cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of cornmeal, a pinch of salt, and some water, and you make a dough real quick, and then you pinch it off and roll it into these little spinners. Next time I'll show you guys that process. Maybe if I do a curry goat video for you guys, I'll show you guys the actual spinner process. So now I'm taking that gravy, and I made a roux with it. Took some of the gravy, added some flour, made a little paste, and added it to it just for thickening. You don't have to. I know most people don't do that. That's just a preference of mine. And then I'm gonna let this cook for about 20 minutes, because your meat is basically done. You just wanna cook out the seasonings you just added, and you wanna cook your spinners. And here you go, guys. After about 2.5 hours, our oxtails is done. It's tender, it's flavorful, it's juicy. So we're gonna serve this up with some rice and peas in the last tutorial before this, and some fried plantains. So yeah, you guys, our video is done. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Become a part of the notification gang. Share this video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Don't be stingy with me, you guys. So yeah, that is the end of our video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.
I'm so OFF, ICIAL. I got bars like I'm in a cell. She tryna bomb, but I got a bell. See them niggas is frail. He say he hot, he going to hell.